my fellow Dalmatian fans and fellow fans of me. I am here today to discuss my OC's timelines, and it will focus on Dutch's backstory and how he came to be with Paulina and his relationship with Delilah. So, our story starts us off at the farm. That is the farm from the second movie, Patch's Big London Adventure, that ended us off on said farm. Dutch was born just a day after Delilah was born, making Delilah a little older than Dutch by a day. And throughout most of his life on the farm, he made sure that his siblings, brothers, and sisters alike, all were safe and kept clean and were cared for. But he would spend the majority of his free time either walking along the road that led to the farm or going into town. His relationship with Delilah as a sibling was very good, enjoying each other's company, especially during lots of games that they played together. Lots of games that probably involved snips and snails and puppy dog tails. It wasn't until one fateful day that Dutch would end up meeting the love of his life, Paulina. And over time, him and Paulina would start to develop a very good relationship as girlfriend and boyfriend. So good they made plans to get married when Paulina and him would go over to America to live in New York, a fact they kept hidden from Dutch's family for a while. And during this time, Delilah was also developing a relationship with someone else, someone that was her boyfriend at the time. But the thing about Delilah's relationship was her boyfriend was she told her plans to move all the way to Camden Town with him very publicly to her family. And this did not go over well with Dutch. Dutch wanted to communicate with her that it would be a bad idea, and that her moving to Camden Town would draw attention to the family and that she wanted to start. But this soon turned into an argument between the siblings, and ended with Dutch telling her to do whatever she wanted, but don't come crying to him when everything goes to crap. This caused her to get angry with him and tell him that she never wanted to see him again. This, of course, made Dutch very sad, but also very angry at her, and told her that he felt the same way. After the argument was over, Dutch would leave the house with Paulina and move all the way to New York with her. After a year of dating, they would soon get married and soon Dutch would have his first pup, Paloma. A few more years down the line, Dutch would have a few more pups with Paulina, that being Peace, Percussion, and Phoebus. Dutch's life was going great over in New York City. That wasn't until he received a letter from none other than Delilah. Somehow she'd managed to find out where he lived, probably through Dominic, the little snitch. He did not read the letter, and instead gave it to Paulina to hide away for him, to which she did. Because Dutch had never read the letter, he never knew what Delilah had said in the letter. He moved on with his life, and a few more years later, he had one more pup with Paulina, this one being DeMonte, before she had to go back to her job at the FBI headquarters, where she would later have his last pup, Reed. Though Dutch was happy with his new life and arrangements, sometimes he did wonder what happened to Delilah. And overseas, Delilah would sometimes ponder about Dutch, but she would focus on her new family. Note this is at the beginning of the show. Since then, Dutch has lived his life and had tried to keep Delilah or anyone else out of the picture, because he wants to keep his children safe from what could happen if exposed to the family, to what could lead to them being potentially scooped up by the DeVille family and turned into a fur coat, or perhaps some other sort of fashion. A very protective father, but a good father at best. But that's all I have to talk about for the time being. If you guys would like more backstories into my other OCs, please do let me know. Until I talk to you guys again, this has been my chat. I would also like to note that I'm sorry that I didn't upload any more book readings. I've been very busy with a lot of stuff, and I'm trying to get through all of it. But I promise to try and get one out this Saturday. Thank you and goodbye.